In the shadows of the majestic jungles of Central America, among the desolate plateaus of the Andes, and in the depths of North American canyons, mysterious structures challenge our understanding of history. America, a continent that many consider young, yet harbors ancient secrets that modern archaeology often finds powerless to unravel. Imagine pyramids towering above the green sea of tropical forests. Their purpose remains shrouded in mystery. What compelled ancient builders to create these colossal structures with such remarkable precision? Or the subterranean tunnels stretching for kilometers beneath the earth, known only to indigenous tribes who passed down this knowledge from generation to generation? Who and why created these underground labyrinths? And the giant stone heads of the Olmecs, seemingly fallen from the sky, with features unlike any known local population. How to explain the extraordinary architectural coincidences among civilizations separated by thousands of kilometers of impassable jungles and mountain ranges? Before you are not mere fancies and fantastical theories, these are real structures, many of which are recognized by official science, but their true purpose remains one of the greatest mysteries of the ancient world. Among the countless mysteries of the New World, one stands out as particularly enigmatic, a puzzle thrown at us across millennia. The messages from the sand, lines visible only from the sky. On the arid plateau of Nazca, in Peru, where time seems to have stopped, gigantic drawings sprawl across the surface of the earth with such precision that one can only grasp the scale of this creation by ascending high into the sky. Imagine colossal images of monkeys, birds, spiders, and mysterious geometric figures, some of which reach 300 meters in length, having been hidden in the silence of the desert for centuries, unnoticed until the first airplanes appeared in the 20th century. How could the creators of these lines, living between the 5th century BC and the 5th century AD, have drawn such perfect figures without the ability to see them in their entirety? What knowledge did the Nazca culture possess to create drawings that could only be fully appreciated from the height of a bird's flight? Official science offers us several explanations. Some archaeologists claim that the lines of Nazca are a complex ritual calendar connected to the movements of celestial bodies and seasonal cycles. Others see them as a map of underground water arteries, crucial for life in the desert. But there are also bolder theories. Some researchers suggest that these gigantic drawings could have served as unusual landing strips or markers for gods descending from the heavens. Local legends speak of a time when gods could fly and observe the earth from above. Are these just echoes of some real events, the memory of which has been preserved only in distorted form? Remarkably, the lines have endured for thousands of years, thanks to the unique climate of the region, minimal precipitation, and stable winds. They seem to have been waiting for humanity to reach the technologies that would allow them to be seen in their entirety. When you look at these perfectly straight lines stretching for kilometers, at the figure of a hummingbird with an elegantly curved beak, or at a mysterious astronaut-like figure with a large head, you can't help but wonder, were the creators of these drawings much more advanced than we usually think? And did they try to convey some message, a message that we have not yet fully deciphered? For besides the well-known figures, the Nazca Plateau is crisscrossed with hundreds of geometric lines forming complex patterns, the meaning of which remains unclear. Some of these lines point to the sunrise and sunset points on the days of the solstices and equinoxes, while others seem to be directed towards distant stars, as if the creators wanted to indicate some special places in the universe. But what is even more astonishing is that similar geoglyphs have been found in other parts of the world. In Wiltshire, England, in the state of Utah, in the steppes of Kazakhstan. What connects these distant places from each other? What universal knowledge compelled ancient people to create messages visible only from the sky? And to whom were these messages addressed? Each new day of research brings new questions, and the answers slip away like sand through one's fingers. The mystery of the Nazca Lines remains one of the most intriguing enigmas of the ancient world. reminding us that the history of humanity is far more complex and mysterious than we can imagine. Mysterious Stonehenge, the American Stonehenge in America. As we traverse the boundless realms of mystery, we find ourselves at the foot of yet another incredible enigma, the American Stonehenge located in New Hampshire. This place, shrouded in the aura of antiquity and mysticism, presents an astonishing collection of stone constructions that, according to many researchers, served as a unique solar calendar for ancient peoples. But who created these grand structures? Were they the ancient Celts who migrated to the New World? Or perhaps early settlers who left their mark on this mysterious land? The age of these stones, as estimated by archaeologists, is counted in thousands of years, raising even more questions. How could people, without modern technologies, create such precise astronomical orientations? Each stone, set with incredible accuracy, seems to whisper the secrets of ancient rituals and hidden ceremonies. What knowledge, hidden within their massive forms, was passed down from generation to generation? Some researchers suggest that American Stonehenge might have been part of a larger system connecting various cultures that inhabited the continent in those distant times. Comparisons with the famous Stonehenge in England highlight remarkable parallels. Both structures, it seems, served as astronomical observatories, allowing ancient people to track the movements of the sun and moon. But how is this possible? How could separate groups of people, divided by oceans and thousands of kilometers, create such similar structures? Is this evidence that knowledge of celestial phenomena was universal and passed through time and space? Despite all the efforts of scientists, the true purpose of these stone constructions remains unclear. Some believe they could have served as places of worship or ritual sites, but the precise details elude us, like shadows hiding in the morning mist. Local residents tell of strange sensations experienced when visiting this place, of how the stones seem to breathe history, filling the air with the magic of ancient times. What secrets do they hide? What message from our ancestors remains undeciphered to this day? And looking at these powerful constructions, one cannot help but ask, what really happened here, in the shadow of these ancient stones? Considering that many aspects of their existence remain mysterious, we can only speculate about how these structures relate to other mysterious landmarks around the world. Did ancient peoples in different corners of the planet create their own observatories, pointing to the heavens that always captivated their hearts? And if so, what other secrets might still await discovery in the depths of our Earth? The mystery of American Stonehenge remains unsolved, much like many other enigmas that span the history of humanity. We are only beginning to realize that what we know about the past is just the tip of the iceberg, beneath which lie unsolved questions and unexplored territories of our history. The mystery of the Serpent Mound, ancient observatory or sacred place. Traveling through the boundless realms of mysteries, we find ourselves in the heart of Ohio, where one of the most enigmatic ancient structures, the Serpent Mound, lies. This gigantic earthen mound, shaped like a serpent winding across the land, is over 400 meters long, captivating with its scale and form. But what lies behind this mysterious construction? What were the intentions of those who created such a grand structure, which many researchers believe could have served as an ancient observatory? The alignment of its head towards the summer solstice sun raises many questions. How could people, without modern technology, create such an accurate astronomical orientation? What were they observing in the movement of the sun across the sky? Some scientists suggest that the Serpent Mound was not only an astronomical object, but also a place of worship, where ancient peoples gathered to mark important events in their lives, such as seasons and harvests. Local native tribes still consider this place sacred, preserving legends and myths about their ancestors who, it is believed, traced their history from this very spot. What significance did these rituals hold for the ancients? What secrets did they hide from outsiders? While some researchers believe the Serpent Mound could have been part of a larger network of earthen mounds connecting various cultures and peoples, others think its creation was linked to astronomical observations that were crucial for agriculture and spiritual life. However, despite all the efforts of scientists, the true purpose of this enigmatic structure remains a subject of speculation and conjecture. How could different peoples living in various corners of the country create such similar structures that respond to celestial phenomena and the cycles of nature? The mystery of the Serpent Mound continues, like an eternal stream carrying answers and leaving only questions. The sense of ancient magic that envelops this place makes visitors feel a connection to the past, as if they become part of its unsolved mysteries. What message do our ancestors preserve in these earthen mounds? What knowledge about the cosmos and time was passed down from generation to generation? We may never know exactly what happened in this sacred place, but one thing is clear. The Serpent Mound is more than just an earthen mound. It is a symbol of deep connections between people and the heavens, between the earth and spirits. The mystery of this place remains unsolved, like many other enigmas that await their explorers, ready to delve into the world of antiquity and open new horizons of understanding. Perhaps in other corners of the planet, similar structures hide their secrets, and we are only beginning to realize how multifaceted and mysterious our history is. Lost City of Tiwanaku, Mysteries of the High-Altitude Megalith. Traveling through the enigmatic Circle of Serpent, we find ourselves in the heart of Bolivia, in the mysterious city of Tiwanaku, which, like a ghost, is submerged in the dense jungles of the highlands. This ancient megalithic complex, the age of which remains a subject of dispute and debate among scholars, attracts attention not only for its grandeur, but also for the extraordinary precision of its stone blocks. Some of these blocks weigh more than 10 tons, perfectly fitted to each other, inspiring awe and bewilderment. How did the ancient builders create such a monumental structure without modern tools? What knowledge of geometry and construction did they possess, allowing them to work stone with such remarkable precision? Local legends whisper of gods from the sky who came to earth to bring knowledge and wisdom. Who were these mysterious beings who, according to the traditions, inspired people to create Tiwanaku? What significance did these deities hold for the local inhabitants? Perhaps they passed on ancient secrets that allowed them to interact with nature and the cosmos, which could have been especially important for survival in the harsh conditions of the highlands. Some researchers believe that Tiwanaku was not only a religious center, but also a significant trade hub connecting different cultures and peoples. However, no matter how hard we try to understand its true purpose, questions remain. Why was this magnificent city abandoned? How could highly advanced civilizations who left us such awe-inspiring monuments disappear without a trace? Research conducted using modern technologies, such as laser scanning and carbon dating, shows that Tiwanaku has a much more complex structure than we could have imagined. Despite all the scientific achievements, many aspects of this ancient culture remain unclear and shrouded in mystery. How could people living here thousands of years ago create such a complex system of water supply and agricultural management capable of supporting life in harsh conditions? Answering these questions, we delve into the world of ancient myths and legends, where reality and fantasy intertwine. Tiwanaku, with its magnificent temples and enigmatic megaliths, continues to draw researchers eager to unravel its mysteries. But what, after all, lies hidden behind this magnificent heritage? What message did the ancient inhabitants leave for us, and what knowledge did they take with them into eternity? The mystery of Tiwanaku remains unsolved, like many other enigmas hidden in the depths of our planet. We are only beginning to realize how multifaceted and mysterious our history is. Perhaps in other corners of the world, there are similar cities full of secrets and mysteries, waiting to be discovered. What other heritage from the past might be hidden under the green canopy of the jungle, awaiting its time to be revealed? The enigma of Sacsayhuaman, ancient megaliths or achievements of ancient civilizations. Traveling through the ancient lands of Peru, we inevitably encounter the magnificent Sacsayhuaman, a megalithic complex that evokes both awe and bewilderment. These cyclopean walls, composed of enormous stone blocks weighing up to 200 tons, are perfectly fitted together without the use of mortar, giving the impression that they were built by the hands of gods themselves. But how could ancient builders create such a grand structure using only primitive tools? What was the secret of their craftsmanship? Modern technologies, despite their achievements, cannot reproduce such perfection. How, then, is this possible? Sacsayhuaman, located just a few kilometers from the Inca capital of Cusco, has a significant history shrouded in legends and myths. Local residents believe that the walls hold knowledge passed down by heavenly beings who came to Earth from distant stars. These enigmatic extraterrestrial beings, according to legends, possessed technologies far surpassing anything we can imagine. Perhaps it was they who inspired the creation of such magnificent structures. But who were these gods who left their mark on our planet? Possibly, they passed down ancient knowledge about construction and harmony with nature, which remains beyond our reach today. However, despite numerous hypotheses, the mystery of Sacsayhuaman continues to remain unsolved. Some researchers suggest that this place served not only for religious ceremonies, but also as a strategically important military complex, protecting Cusco from enemies. Walls built with such precision could have formed an insurmountable barrier for attackers. But how could the Incas create this without modern equipment? Scientific research, including the analysis of construction technologies and the use of laser scanning, shows that Sacsayhuaman has a much more complex structure than we could have imagined. It is astonishing that even today, the question of how ancient architects could lift such heavy blocks to great heights and achieve perfect stone fitting remains unanswered. This raises many questions. Did they use forgotten methods or technologies lost to time? Or, as some proponents of the conspiracy theory suggest, were their skills the result of contacts with more advanced civilizations, including extraterrestrials? But this is not the only mystery that Peru holds. From Sacsayhuaman, we can move on to other places and artifacts that also cause wonder and bewilderment. For example, the enigmatic Nazca Lines, visible only from the air, who created them, and for what purpose? And why did many ancient civilizations leave behind such impressive constructions that remain difficult to understand to this day? The mysteries linked to Sacsayhuaman and other megaliths seem to reflect the depth of our history, filled with unexplained phenomena and enigmas. Perhaps in other corners of the world, there are similar structures and artifacts waiting to be discovered and studied. What else is hidden under the veil of time, waiting to reveal its secrets? We are only beginning to realize how multifaceted and mysterious our planet is. The mystery of Sacsayhuaman, like many other enigmas, remains unsolved, and this only fuels our curiosity, driving us to seek answers to questions that may never be found. Pyramids are not only in Egypt. The mysteries of Tikal and its acoustic wonders. Forget the familiar notions of pyramids that we associate with Egypt. In the heart of Guatemala lies an ancient Mayan city, Tikal, where majestic pyramids stand, each holding secrets and mysteries that can even astonish the most seasoned researchers. These structures served not only as places of worship, but also as centers for rituals where sacrifices played a significant role. How could an ancient people create such impressive architectural masterpieces using only primitive tools? Among the many pyramids of Tikal, one stands out particularly: the Pyramid of the 11. This magnificent structure, reaching a height of over 40 meters, makes the heart beat faster with each step towards its base. What makes it truly unique, however, are its acoustic properties. If you clap your hands at its base, the sound will echo in such a way that it resembles the cry of a sacred bird. The Quetzal, a symbol of freedom and spirituality for the Maya. How could an ancient people, lacking modern knowledge of acoustics, create such a remarkable phenomenon? Perhaps they understood something about the nature of sound and its interaction with architecture, something that eludes our understanding. But the mysteries of Tikal do not end with its acoustic peculiarities. Archaeologists continue to find evidence that the pyramids were used for precise astronomical observations. This raises many questions. How could the ancient Maya accurately predict solar and lunar cycles? Their knowledge of celestial bodies may have been based on ancient traditions, about which we can only speculate today. How could such advanced knowledge exist among a people who, as it seems, lived in complete isolation from other civilizations? Tikal, being one of the largest Mayan cities, is also surrounded by numerous myths and legends. Local residents still tell stories about how gods descended from the heavens and left their knowledge, inspiring people to create these grand structures. But how can we be sure that these are just myths? Perhaps in the distant past, there were indeed scholars or wise men here who possessed knowledge that is still beyond the reach of modern researchers. Some researchers suggest that Tikal may have served not only as a religious center, but also as a significant trade hub connecting various cultures of Central America. How could these trade routes have influenced the development of architecture and science? And perhaps it was precisely this interaction that allowed the Maya to create such perfect constructions that continue to awe us today. From the pyramids of Tikal, let us move on to other mysterious places where ancient civilizations left traces of their existence. For example, the enigmatic Olmec civilization, whose giant stone heads still puzzle scientists today. How were they created, and what were their functions? These questions remain unanswered, just like many other mysteries hidden deep within our planet. The secrets associated with Tikal and its pyramids seem to reflect the unknown depths of history, where myths and reality intertwine. Perhaps somewhere else in the world, similar places are waiting to be discovered. What else is hidden under the veil of time, ready to tell its story? We are only beginning to realize how much of the unknown surrounds us. The mystery of Tikal, like many others, remains unsolved, urging us to continue our searches, despite all the obstacles and mysteries that may be insurmountable. Stone faces gazing at the sky, the enigma of the Olmec heads in Mexico. Among the dense jungles of Mexico, on the land where ancient civilizations left their indelible marks, stand colossal stone heads, Olmec giants that seem to gaze into the endless sky. These monumental sculptures, each weighing up to 40 tons, are striking in their detail and expression. How could such artistry emerge in an era when tools were primitive and technologies had not yet reached their peak? What were the intentions of the ancient masters who created these stone faces, filled with mysteries and secrets? The Olmec heads possess unique features, each seemingly imbued with the spirit of antiquity. They have wide noses, full lips, and expressive eyes, as if they have witnessed centuries of change. But what is the purpose behind this artistry? Some scholars suggest that these heads could have been monuments to chiefs or gods, symbolizing power and veneration. However, the more we investigate, the more questions arise. How did the ancient Olmec masters manage to carve and transport such massive stone blocks over significant distances? This remains one of the greatest mysteries, about which historians and archaeologists can only speculate. Some researchers even propose a theory of possible influence from ancient African culture on the creation of the Olmec heads. Yet, despite intriguing hypotheses, evidence remains elusive. How could a connection have existed between cultures so far apart, when oceans seemed insurmountable barriers? This enigma challenges our understanding of ancient seafarers and their capabilities. Many wonder, were the ancient Olmecs truly capable of establishing such connections? Or is this merely the product of modern researchers' imagination, seeking to explain the inexplicable? As we strive to unravel the secrets of the Olmec heads, we should not forget other aspects of their culture. Archaeologists have found evidence that the Olmecs also practiced complex rituals and human sacrifices, linked to their beliefs in divine powers. How does this relate to these stone giants, which appear to be merely an outward manifestation of a deeper spiritual practice? Perhaps each sculpture not only reflects physical presence, but also serves as a bridge between the world of humans and the world of gods. Moving from the Olmec heads to other enigmatic artifacts, we cannot overlook the mysterious cities discovered on the territory of Mexico and Central America, which may also reveal the secrets of ancient civilizations. What were their connections to the Olmec culture? Were they part of a single network linking different peoples? All these questions remain unanswered, leaving us in anticipation of new discoveries and insights. The stone faces, turned towards the sky, will continue to keep their secrets. How many more mysteries lie hidden beneath the veil of time? Perhaps among the elusive shadows of history, answers await discovery, ready to be revealed. Each new artifact, each new find, is a step towards unraveling the mystery. But the secrets of the Olmec heads remain unsolved, beckoning us to delve into the depths of the ages. Vanished city, Palenque and its mysterious sarcophagus. In the south of Mexico, deep within tropical jungles, lies one of the most mysterious ancient cities, Palenque. This extraordinary Mayan city, once flourishing in its prime, is now submerged in the green embrace of the jungle, as if nature itself decided to hide it from prying eyes. But what happened to this remarkable civilization? How could such a developed culture vanish without a trace, leaving behind only stone ruins and unsolved mysteries? Palenque is not just a city. It is the cradle of enigmas, among which stands out one of the most intriguing, the tomb located inside the magnificent Temple of the Inscriptions. When archaeologists discovered this tomb in the 1960s, they were presented with a sarcophagus adorned with images that continue to spark heated debates among scholars and researchers. Some refer to it as the Mayan astronaut, as the relief depicts a person clad in strange armor and a helmet reminiscent of a spacesuit. How could such an image end up on a sarcophagus created more than 1,000 years ago? What role did this person play in Mayan culture? Perhaps it was a reflection of their desire to explore the cosmos, or was it merely the fantasy of ancient artists? Historians know that the Maya were remarkably advanced astronomers, capable of observing celestial bodies with remarkable accuracy. But what if this image is not just art, but something more? Could ancient Maya have had contacts with extraterrestrial civilizations? Or is it a symbol representing their divine inspiration? These questions remain unanswered, and each new look at the sarcophagus generates even more mysteries. While some researchers try to decipher the mystery of the Mayan astronaut, others focus on the city of Palenque itself. Its architecture is breathtaking, massive stone blocks perfectly fitted together, grand temples adorned with intricate carvings that tell stories of gods and rulers. But how could such artistry emerge in conditions where technologies were far from modern? Historians believe that Palenque was a significant religious and cultural center, but its disappearance, like many other Mayan cities, remains shrouded in mystery. How could such developed cities vanish so suddenly? Some scientists propose theories about climate changes that could have led to the decline of agricultural practices and, consequently, the loss of viability of these cities. Others believe that internal conflicts and wars between different city-states were the cause of their demise. Whatever the true cause, Palenque remains a symbol of lost wisdom and knowledge. From Palenque and its mysterious sarcophagus, we can move on to other extraordinary discoveries that continue to baffle researchers. What other secrets are hidden in the depths of ancient civilizations? What enigmatic artifacts await their time to be revealed? The vanished city of Palenque, with its mysterious images and tombs, makes us ponder. How many more unknown mysteries are hidden in the jungles and ruins filled with oblivion? We have only scratched the surface, and ahead of us lie new discoveries, possibly as astonishing as Palenque itself. At strange coincidences, the Moai of Easter Island and their secrets. As we journey from the enigmatic Palenque to other corners of the world, we encounter no less intriguing artifacts that raise numerous questions. One such place is the mysterious Easter Island, located on the edge of the Pacific Ocean and belonging to Chile. This isolated piece of land, far from all continents, has become the birthplace of extraordinary stone giants, the Moai. These massive figures, carved from volcanic tuff, seem to watch over the boundless waters of the ocean, leaving the impression that they hold secrets of an ancient culture that developed in complete isolation. How could this have happened? How could such a unique culture arise on this distant island, far from other civilizations, capable of creating such monumental works of art? The Moai, with their enormous heads and expressive features, evoke admiration and awe, but their creation remains a mystery. Scientists still debate how these heavy statues were moved around the island. Some theories suggest that ancient Polynesians used complex systems of rollers and ropes, while others believe they simply walked sideways, swaying their bodies. But this is not all. Some Moai have bodies buried in the ground, hidden from the eyes of researchers and tourists. Why is this so? What secrets might they hold? Perhaps they reflect the cultural or spiritual beliefs of the island's ancient inhabitants. These mysteries highlight the strange coincidence with other ancient civilizations that also created grand monuments, remaining isolated from the outside world. For example, in the case of Palenque, we see that each civilization sought to inscribe its history in stone. But how could they achieve such parallels in art and engineering despite the distances and different living conditions? Perhaps this is a hint at universal archetypes that permeate human culture. Despite this, Easter Island remains a place full of mysteries and enigmas. What were the true reasons for the creation of the Moai? Some researchers suggest that these statues may have represented ancestors, helping to maintain the connection between the living and the dead, while others believe they served as symbols of power and status. But if this is the case, why were there so many of them? And what happened to the culture when it reached its peak, but then declined? Just as with Palenque, the disappearance of many statues and the decline of the civilization remain shrouded in mystery. How could this have happened on such a remote island, where life seemed to flow peacefully and calmly? These questions remain unanswered, and each new discovery only fuels our interest in unraveling these mysteries. All this makes us ponder, how many more secrets are hidden beneath the surface, waiting for their time to be revealed? Perhaps somewhere in the depths of jungles or on distant islands, there are other enigmatic artifacts, like the Moai, waiting for their stories to be told. We have barely scratched the surface, and ahead of us lie new discoveries that could change our understanding of ancient cultures and their legacy. How many more unknown mysteries does our world hold? Mystery of the Rolling Stones, Death Valley and its secrets. As we continue to explore the mysteries of ancient civilizations, let us transport ourselves to an incredible place where nature itself becomes an active participant in mysterious events. This is Death Valley, one of the hottest and driest places on Earth, located in California, USA. Here, amidst desolate landscapes and rocky hills, lies one of the most unusual natural anomalies, stones that appear to move on their own. Imagine this: massive stone blocks, weighing tens of kilograms, leave long trails on the dried-up bed of Lake Racetrack, as if choosing their own path through this eerie and silent place. How is this possible? How can stones, lacking visible means of movement, leave these mysterious trails? Scientists have been trying to unravel this mystery for many years. They have partially explained the phenomenon, but the event remains unexplained. According to one theory, during cold nights when the temperature drops sharply, an ice crust forms, which, strangely enough, can cause the stones to move. Combined with the wind blowing across the lake bed, this could be the cause of their movement. However, there are still many questions. How exactly does the combination of ice and wind lead to such an effect? And why does this happen only here in Death Valley, and not in other places with similar conditions? But this is not all. Some researchers and local residents claim that this place feels a strange energy that can affect objects around it. They say that here one can hear the whisper of the wind and see strange glowing phenomena that envelop the night. These stories add to the atmosphere of mystery and mysticism. Why is nature behaving so strangely in this desert land? What significance might this place have for ancient cultures that once inhabited these lands? Perhaps it is the echoes of forgotten rituals or secret ceremonies that were once performed here. As scientists continue their research, the mystery of the rolling stones remains unsolved. What other explanation might be hidden behind this phenomenon? Is it just a trick of nature? Or is there something deeper that has so far eluded our understanding? We are on the threshold of discovery, and each step in the investigation of this unusual phenomenon opens new horizons for contemplation. So we are once again faced with the question, how many more secrets are hidden in the depths of the earth, waiting to be revealed? Perhaps somewhere on other continents, in such remote corners, there exist even stranger natural anomalies that could change our view of the world. How many more unknown secrets does our planet hold, ready to reveal itself to those who dare to delve into their study? Pyramid under the hill, the mysteries of Cholula. Now, let us transport ourselves to Mexico, to one of the most enigmatic and magnificent objects of ancient architecture, the pyramid in Cholula. This pyramid, hidden under green hills and crowned with a Spanish church, for a long time remained in the shadows of its own outward appearance, being perceived as nothing remarkable. However, as soon as archaeologists began their excavations, a real sensation erupted. Under this seemingly ordinary landscape, one of the largest structures ever built by humans was hidden. How could such a grand construction remain unnoticed for so long? The pyramid in Cholula is the result of the labor of an ancient civilization that, despite its greatness, left only shadows behind. The construction of this architectural wonder began more than 2,000 years ago and continued for several centuries. However, with the arrival of the Spanish, who sought to establish their power and Christianity on these lands, a church was built on the pyramid's summit. This decision was not accidental. The Spanish aimed to close a cult site that could become a symbol of resistance to their power. What was the true purpose of this action? Did they simply want to destroy the old faith, or was there something deeper and more symbolic in this act? Remarkable architectural details discovered during excavations testify that the pyramid in Cholula was not just a religious center, but also a significant cultural and social hub. Well-preserved frescoes and ritual objects speak of the high level of development of the ancient civilization that once inhabited this place. However, despite all of these facts, there remain many unanswered questions. What happened to the people who built this pyramid? How could they create such splendor? And why did their culture disappear, leaving behind only ruins and mysteries? It is worth noting that the pyramid in Cholula is not the only enigmatic place in Mexico. Throughout the country, there are other pyramids and ancient structures that also guard their secrets. Researchers continue to find new artifacts, and each of them can be a key in solving the mystery. But how many more secrets does this land still hold? Many of them remain unsolved, as if waiting for their time to be revealed. What are the true reasons why ancient cultures built such grand structures? Perhaps they were not just temples but places of power that held special significance for their creators. Or were they reflections of their aspirations and fears, embodied in stone? We stand on the threshold of new discoveries, and each step in the study of these enigmas brings us closer to understanding our past. So, the question remains, what other secrets does our planet hide? And how many more unsolved mysteries await their time to be revealed? In a world full of wonders and histories, we are only beginning to understand how deep and multifaceted our roots are. how many more unknown events does history hold, ready to be revealed to those who dare to explore it? Fortress of Ollantaytambo, Mysteries of Geometry and the Incas. Welcome to the heart of Peru, where, at an altitude of over 2,700 meters above sea level, stands the enigmatic fortress of Ollantaytambo. This architectural gem of the Incas is not only remarkable for its scale, but also for its uniquely innovative approach to construction, which seemingly defies all known laws of geometry. The terraced platforms and walls, meticulously crafted with perfect precision, evoke both puzzlement and admiration. How did these ancient Incas, with their limited tools and technologies, manage to lift such massive stones to such heights? This question remains unanswered, shrouded in mystery and intrigue, much like the very walls of the fortress, which seem to whisper their secrets only to those who are willing to listen. Ollantaytambo was not just a military fortress, but also a significant religious and cultural center for the Incas. The walls, built from enormous stone blocks that fit together perfectly, give the impression that they were cut from a single rock. But how did the ancient builders achieve such precision? Some researchers propose that the stones might have been soft when worked on, allowing the Incas to shape them into the desired form. And then, after cooling, they became as hard as granite. However, this hypothesis raises more questions than it answers. How did the Incas possess knowledge of the properties of stone, which has been lost to modern scientists? Among the terraces and temples of Ollantaytambo, there is a unique energy, as if the very spirit of the ancient civilization continues to live within these walls. Perhaps few people reflecting on the grandeur of Ollantaytambo, one wonders, what inspired the Incas to build such monumental structures? Perhaps in these architectural masterpieces lie not only technological achievements, but also profound philosophical ideas that reflect their worldview. How did the Incas perceive the world around them? And what symbols did they try to immortalize in their constructions? These questions remain open, much like the history of the Incas, filled with mysteries and unexpected discoveries. Each step in the study of this ancient civilization brings us closer to unraveling their secrets. But it remains unclear how many more mysteries the land of Peru still holds. How many more uncharted adventures await their time to be revealed? Perhaps in the depths of Ollantaytambo lie the answers to the questions we have been asking for centuries. And perhaps, one day, these answers will be found. But until then, the fortress will remain a symbol of unsolved mysteries and enigmas that continue to draw researchers and history enthusiasts. City where there is not a single straight angle. Let us delve into the mysterious world of ancient Mexico, where the incredible city of Teotihuacan is located. This unique megacity, built long before the arrival of the Aztecs, remains one of the greatest mysteries of history. How could such a vast and well-planned city, where, as they say, there is not a single straight angle, have come into existence? The walls of the pyramids, streets, and even the plazas, it seems, follow a mysterious geometry, in which all lines and angles create an effect of infinite movement. How could the ancient builders create such perfect architecture, which still amazes us with its proportions and harmony today? Among the magnificent structures, the Pyramid of the Sun and the Pyramid of the Moon stand out. As if guarding the secrets of the past, they continue to observe the modern world. The Pyramid of the Sun, one of the largest in the world, rises to 70 meters and can boast a base that is twice as large as that of the famous Pyramid of Cheops in Egypt. How could people, living thousands of years ago, create such grand monuments with such precision? Scientists suggest that in Teotihuacan there was a complex system of astronomical observations, but exactly how it worked remains a mystery. Some researchers propose a theory that Teotihuacan was a place of concentration of various cultures and influences, but who were its creators? Are there any links between this culture and the Egyptian civilizations? Strange coincidences in proportions and architectural techniques give rise to disputes and theories that, plunging us into the depths of history, only strengthen the sense of mystery. How could two such different cultures, located at different ends of the world, create similar structures with parallel characteristics? However, it is not only the architecture that arouses interest. In Teotihuacan, many artifacts are found, as if whispering about forgotten rituals and cult practices. Why did the ancient inhabitants create numerous figures and objects made of fired clay, depicting people and animals? Were these items part of rituals, or did they serve some symbol that we are unable to decipher? These questions, along with many others, remain unanswered, leaving only conjectures and mystical reflections. Walking through the streets of Teotihuacan, we can feel the breath of antiquity and the mysterious energy that hovers in the air. Local residents, preserving the memory of their ancestors, continue to tell stories about the greatness of this city, as if the very walls keep the secrets that are ready to be revealed to those who seek them. But what were the true causes of its decline? What happened to its inhabitants who created such awe-inspiring structures? Teotihuacan remains an unsolved puzzle, attracting researchers and tourists from all over the world. Each step on its streets can be a discovery. But alas, many mysteries remain hidden behind the veil of time. Perhaps someday we will find answers to the questions that have tormented us for many centuries. But for now, we can only guess how many more secrets this mysterious city, where there is not a single straight angle and where history intertwines with myths, creating a unique atmosphere of eternal mystery, still hides. Caves plunging into the abyss, the mysteries of Puerto Rico. Now, let us transport ourselves to the heart of the Caribbean archipelago, to the enigmatic world of Puerto Rico, where extraordinary caves, delving deeper than one can imagine, are hidden beneath the earth. These subterranean labyrinths, filled with a gloomy atmosphere and unusual petroglyphs, attract the attention of archaeologists and adventure seekers from around the world. What secrets do they hold? Local residents believe that these caves are portals to other worlds, inhabited by mystical creatures and forgotten peoples. But what exactly is hidden in their depths? One of the most famous caves is Caminito del Rio, where the walls are adorned with enigmatic images that seem to tell stories of ancient rituals and beliefs. These petroglyphs, carved into the rocks, have left traces of civilizations about which we know very little. Scholars suggest that they may belong to the Taíno people, but many details remain shrouded in mystery. How could these ancient artists create such intricate images, and what were they trying to convey to future generations? Some researchers propose that these caves may have been inhabited by certain subterranean peoples, about whom legends speak. Local residents recall transcendental beings that, according to their accounts, emerge at night. These tales of subterranean civilizations fuel our imagination, but are they merely myths? How can we explain the numerous accounts of encounters with these enigmatic creatures? Each step through the narrow corridors of these caves evokes a sense of both trepidation and anticipation. The artistic images on the walls seem to come alive under the light of the flashlights, telling stories of ancient battles, religious rituals, and the everyday lives of the people who once inhabited these lands. But who were they? Why did they choose to live in darkness, far from the sun's light? Archaeologists studying these caves find traces of civilizations that do not connect with known cultures, leaving us in a state of bewilderment. How could the people who created such intricate and beautiful works of art disappear? The ancient peoples left behind a multitude of questions to which there are still no answers. These enigmas, including the very world of the caves, remain unsolved, inspiring both awe and fear at the same time. But this is not the only mystery hidden beneath the surface of the earth. Considering the caves of Puerto Rico, we may ask, are there similar places in other corners of the world that also guard their secrets? Perhaps the subterranean labyrinths of other lands are also filled with riddles and ancient mysteries waiting to be discovered. We can only speculate about how many more unsolved puzzles await us in the depths of the earth, and what secrets these dark and enigmatic caves hide. Legend of the Temple Built in One Night. Transport yourself to the heart of Mexico, to the mysterious city of Chichen Itza, where the magnificent temple of Kukulkan stands, shrouded in legends and myths. They say it was built in one night, and the hands of the ancient builders were not only human, but also supernatural. How could such a thing happen? How can this be explained from the perspective of science and history? There are numerous theories, but all of them only emphasize the mystery of this place. The temple, adorned with intricate carvings and symbols, was built in such a way that, at certain times of the year, for example, during the vernal equinox, a snake seemed to crawl up its staircase. This effect is created by the precise interplay of light and shadow, calculated to the smallest detail, which testifies to the high level of knowledge of the ancient architects. How could they have calculated the movement of the sun and its influence on architecture so accurately? Local residents tell stories that the temple was built with the help of the great god Kukulkan, who descended from the heavens to help his people. But who was this mysterious god, who could direct the hands of men and make their creations works of art? Legends say he appeared in the form of a feathered serpent, symbolizing wisdom and knowledge. Around this god, many myths and traditions have formed, but why does his figure still evoke such strong feelings in people? There are other theories that try to explain the origin of the temple. Some researchers suggest that it could be the result of the combined efforts of local tribes who, united, could have built such a grand structure. But how could they have dealt with such complex engineering challenges without modern technologies? How were massive stone blocks, perfectly fitted together, used to build this masterpiece? Nevertheless, not all explanations have a rational basis. Some believe that the temple was built with the help of magic and mystical powers, accessible only to priests and the chosen. In this context, the temple becomes not just an architectural structure, but a true place of power where worlds intersect. The question arises, what exactly do the walls of this temple hide? What knowledge and secrets does it hold? Chichen Itza not only attracts archaeologists and tourists, but also inspires artists, writers, and adventurers seeking to unravel its secrets. But even centuries after its construction, the mysteries of the Temple of Kukulkan remain unsolved, evoking genuine interest and admiration. What else might be hidden beneath its walls, waiting to be revealed? Perhaps there are many more temples like it, waiting for the curtain of time to rise and reveal their secrets. In conclusion, it's worth remembering that many ancient structures we've discussed are not only real, but also officially recognized as part of humanity's historical heritage. Despite the efforts of researchers, they continue to hold more mysteries than answers. Each of these sites is not just a monument, but a true book of history, with pages yet to be fully opened. Which of these mysterious places would you like to visit personally? Are there any structures among them that have impressed you the most? Perhaps it's the magnificent temple in Chichen Itza, shrouded in legends, or the mysterious megaliths of Stonehenge whose secrets remain unsolved to this day. Don't you think that history is full of such fascinating mysteries that each new day can bring us a discovery capable of changing our perception of the past? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell, because there are even more mysterious stories from around the world waiting for you, which will certainly make you ponder how many secrets our planet hides, and what other discoveries are waiting for their time in the depths of history. What are the true mysteries hidden under ancient stones, and are we ready to unravel them?